We'll sing in the sunshine. We'll laugh every day. We'll sing in the sunshine. Then I'll be on my way. Yeah, da be do do do. All right. Hey, Storm Star. Hey, Willie. And it's time. It's time for an Ask Me Anything stream. And of course, in these streams too, even if you don't have questions, these are just talk about whatever you want streams. Actually, I think these are some of my most enjoyed streams. Is just hanging out and talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. They always they always seem to provide the best times. Now you guys, oh yeah, you guys saw that on the stream. If any of you didn't catch it, I did the unboxing of the stuff that I picked up at the anime convention. Got some good shit. Big Green says your description of okay, hit me with it coupled with the thumbnail was funnier to me than it probably should be. I knew what you meant, pal. every once in a while I put things together in a cohesive manner. Not really all that often. I was you know what I was looking for? Well, how would you know? I haven't told you. Earlier today I was looking for a software, and so far I've had zero luck, where I could set up the software. I have web space at curtiscandy.com, different things like that. I could set up some automated software that I could give you guys a link, and if you wanted to, you could sign up for it, and I will send out notifications of live streams. So far, I haven't, and I'm willing to pay for it. It's not like I was just looking for free stuff. I can't find anything that works the way I want it to work. That would be, to me, the ultimate circumvention of YouTube's horrific lack of notifications thing. I got to see if I can find that, because that would be my plan. I wouldn't use it for videos, just for live streams. But then if I could find the software I want, you guys could go in and you could designate how you want to be notified, whether it's via your browser, mobile device, whatever, just a third-party software that handles it. And each time we go live, I could go in, write up what the title of the stream, so on and so forth, and we could completely get around YouTube. But I haven't been able to find one that'll do what we want yet. Yeah, Big Green says, yeah, video notifications are a little more consistent than stream notifications, just a little. And you know what it is too, Green, with me? When the video notifications don't go out, that sucks. But most of the people that are regulars here, you'll be back at the channel at some point, and then they'll go, oh shit, there's a video I wanted to see. But with live streams, if you want to be part of the live stream, once you missed it, you missed it. So that's why I found a couple of. See, the problem is the software I found so far is geared like too high. It's for corporations, and the software doesn't dumb down enough to just do the simple task that I want. Because all I want to be able to do is write up notifications that you guys have signed up for and send them out. And all the software, which I understand why they want to sell it, has tons of bells and whistles and won't just break down to something simplistic. Stormstar says, easy question first. How was the con? Could you breathe? I told the gang, actually, the only place it hit me was when I went into the video game room. Some of the folks in the video game room apparently have an adversarial relationship with soap and water. And other than that, I had one person who passed me on the floor that you went, oh, holy crap, you got smacked in the face. But really, it wasn't too bad. That was it. The video game room and then one individual. So I can't complain. Based on what you guys have told me, what I was expecting. Oh. Willie says, so my friend is starting his anime journey And in 3 weeks, this dude has gone through One Punch Man, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, and Death Note. Holy shit. I guess it, wow. I thought I'd go through anime quick. It's got me beat. Damn. Philip says, hey, critics, have you heard of Lackadaisy? I honestly like it more than Hell of a Boss or Has Been Hotel. Just recently. I haven't looked into it yet. I've just heard the name. I've had people mentioning the names to me. Had people mentioning the name to me, saying that it was really good. But I haven't looked into it. While we're waiting for notifications potentially to go out, I can take a look. Lackadaisy. It's a web comic as well. Let's go to the YouTube channel. Lackadaisy comic. Lackadaisy's official comics and animation channel. Interesting. Wow, 3.6 million views 5 days ago. Lackadaisy pilot. Oh, we can do it. Wow, it's 27-minute pilot? We can do, if they seem okay with reactions, we could do a reaction. Now, let me see what it looks like for reactions, if people are doing them and if they seem okay with it. Let's put in Lackadaisy reaction and see what we get. This needs a movie now. Internet City. Okay, they're a big organization, so it must be they're okay with them. Lackadaisy pilot reaction. Yeah, they seem to be okay with. Yeah, we can do this. Let me bookmark it so I don't forget. All right, hold on here. I don't know how quickly I'll get to it, but put it in there. Yeah, it seems like it's getting certainly seems like it's getting a lot of attention. Big Green says, speaking of YouTube, they actually added a good feature this time. In the previous stream, Fred Guy was back, but banning him was real easy because we can just click on comments to time out or ban. Oh, really? Very cool. Oh, make it a lot easier. Nice. And Brother E says, heard about the WWE UFC merger? Sure. It's pretty big news. Yeah, Vince has been looking to sell it for some time. That's a good organization, I think, to a good parent organization anyway, to own it. Though I think they'll handle it as it should be. And you still have Vince staying on, you still have Triple H staying on. So to the end users, to us as fans, we probably won't see a lot of difference anyway, I wouldn't think. Stormstar says, thinking of restarting DBZ. Haven't done a proper rewatch of all of them for well over a decade and kind of been craving it. I know what you mean. I wish I had time. There's so many things I want to rewatch, but I just don't have enough time in the day. Hi, Ashley. Let me take a look at that. Green says, I just had to left click on the comment and a window of options popped up. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hide user, put user in timeout. Wow, very cool. Very cool. There we go. And Powsy Doc says, hey man, big fan. Well, glad to have you. I've been watching you since the Filthy Frank reaction days. Yeah, good old Papa Franku. We were talking about him just the other day in a stream, and you know, as much as we all miss him, and god damn, he was brilliant. So funny. He really got out at the right time, because could you imagine poor Papa Frank trying to make videos on current YouTube on this platform? Obviously his channel would immediately be entirely demonetized. So to be able to do it, because it takes, those videos require a real time commitment, he'd have to open a Patreon or something, to support what he does. But then on top of that, for Papa Frank to really be Papa Frank, they're just going to end up giving him strikes anyway. So, especially as hypersensitive as they are now. Robbie says, in the Spider-Man Sam Raimi 2002 movie, one of the soundtracks has a sound effect in the film. In the film, the character heard it saying, "Who's there?" I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure if that was a question. I'm not sure what you mean. Willie says, I see Albedo next to the Notre Dame plaque. I do not have the confidence to buy any anime figures, especially ones like that. Really? Oh, I love this one. Love this one. I want little Japanese guy was selling figures. Really nice guy, and he knows his anime. Obviously, he got done with a customer he was seeing, and he says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I have to have that Albedo." He goes, "That's understandable." And we're talking, and he said, because I said, "Yeah, there's not a lot of good Eins ones out there. There are, but they're all upper end ones. You can't get a mid range one like that." And he was saying just he thinks a lot of it is just because he's so big and there's so much detail to put into him, with his freaking robe and everything. But yeah, really good dude. Yeah. Big Green says, speaking of not very YouTube friendly, hi Albedo. And Albedo does not care that she's not YouTube friendly. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do 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 do. Philip says I watched it for the first time a couple days back. One of those YouTube series where clearly it took a long time to make, but you immediately want another episode. Very cool. Well, I just looked at it when you suggested it, and this we're talking about Lackadaisy. I see that the trailer really took off, but prior to that, they'd been making episodes of it, and they did okay. But now the trailer seems to have really exploded, which was very cool. Excuse me. Galang says, "What do you think about results of WrestleMania this year?" It was fun. I enjoyed the WrestleMania this year. I think night one was even better than night two. A lot of good matches, top to bottom. The Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley match was amazing. Really, really well done. The women steal the show a lot lately in WWE. Because the same could be said for Asuka versus what's her name? The EST. Why is her name going out of my head? That match was excellent as well. But yeah, it was the matches were solid. I was impressed with the way Snoop and The Miz were able to so seamlessly and quickly cover up for Shane's injury. That was pretty impressive in and of itself. Bianca Belair. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was. The women just have some amazing workers now. Sophian Games says, "Why wouldn't you do a gaming channel or play games and do reactions?" Well, we do reactions. We have a gaming channel. I don't use it anymore. Spaz Kid had gotten it started back up, but then he got a job and life moves too fast. He couldn't keep going with it. But anything I want to do, it's easier now in this day and age of YouTube. It's easier to just play within whatever they'll allow me to do here. And Shane's really tore his quad like his father. I know, Galang. That it was funny in that respect that it was so reminiscent of his dad doing the same thing. I don't remember. That wasn't a WrestleMania though that Vince did it, was it? I think it was a pay-per-view, but I just remember him tearing both quads and just sitting there on the mat, John. But you got to give him credit. I mean, he stayed in character and went with it and everything. But yeah, as soon as Shane landed that leapfrog, you knew he was screwed. That was you saw it blow out. Excuse me. Stormstar says people weren't too impressed with Roman winning. Must admit, felt like a flat finish to an amazing match. Worried Cody will lose momentum now. I agree with that somewhat. I think and especially in the respect of, for me, That was well down the, if I, you know, the matches, me for match enjoyment, not outcome, just enjoyment of the match. That was the main event, and that was well down my list. There were a bunch of matches I enjoyed more than that one. It was Royal Rumble. Is that what it was, going? I knew it was a pay-per-view. I didn't think it was WrestleMania. It did. It did. Big Green says that actually made it funnier because it looked like he was just sitting there like a child having a tantrum. That's exactly what it looked like too. And you know, just having been not tearing my quads, but in similar situations, I knew he was hurt when it happened. But you're right. Him just sitting there flat on his butt and still jawing and yelling. It did. It just looked like it was a little tantrum. So that was cool. Sophian says, I'm saying you making gaming content. I like your reaction videos, though, especially the old Filthy Frank Days Were Gold. Yeah, again, it's if I can find a way to squeeze more than 24 hours into the day, I would be glad to, because I want to get back to playing GTA 5 here on the channel. The filmmakers have added the train noise in the film, the scene in the abandoned warehouse, as a character heard it, and it's been post-produced in the soundtrack. This noise was scary. Yeah, I'm not following. I'm with Big Green. I'm not following Robbie. Seven Sins says, if you could have one thing from your youth back, what would it be? My youth, my strength, my speed. um, I don't know what you mean. Do you mean when you say one thing back from my youth? Do you mean something that could even be physical like that? You know, I could regain the athletic prowess I had, or do you mean something like something I physically possessed? It's funny you say that. I had a toy when I was a kid. I was a sports nut, and I loved it. Excuse me, guys. It was just this dopey little record player like thing. And you bought discs that would go in it. And each disc represented a different athlete, a different person in sports. And you would just put it in the player. Mattel made it. And Instant Replay, it was called. Mattel Instant Replay. And you would just listen to a several second clip talking about that athlete. Well, I was such a sports freak. Anything. And you have to understand, back in my day, that was like high tech. It's like, this magic. Listen to the voices coming from this plastic machine. And so I looked it up, and you can still find some that work, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. Too much money. It just just for something nostalgic, they're just too expensive to get one that works. Stormstar says, what did you make of Finn's injury, or would that have been just have been but a scratch for Curtis Candy? No, not just a scratch. I mean, I've had gashes I still got the scars from some of them on the back of my head on chair shots that went wrong. That was a serious bleeder. The thing for me, and this is just coming from me with somebody who's had his head gashed open a bunch of times, after it happens to you enough, you just get to be like, yeah, okay. It'll stop. I'll make it stop bleeding later. It doesn't freak you out that much. The only thing is, I've had a couple of bad ones like what Finn had, and they did the right thing, obviously, with stapling it up, because by the end of the match, the one time with this one, and again, I've got a scar from it on the back of my head, I lost so much blood, I was like, almost felt like I was going to start fading in and out. You know, I could barely get to the back just from blood loss. But as far as the gash itself, yeah, it's again, up here it's just skin and bone. So you gash the skin and the blood leaks out. It's not like your life isn't in danger. But I don't mean to take anything away. He was a tough bastard for continuing on with that like it was. But yeah, that happens. I was surprised he retained consciousness, because as soon as they threw that ladder and I saw his head snap, you knew that the ladder made contact directly with his forehead, and that hard of a head snap, I'm surprised didn't knock him out. Brother E says, I have to disagree. Roman winning made sense. He has this monumental run as a champion, and the story being told is going to be The Rock stopping the tribal chief. Cody is not the guy to dethrone Roman. Yeah, I tell you, for being the top end, I just wasn't as swept into that as a lot of people were. And nothing against anybody, just, each storyline hits everybody individually differently. And that one just wasn't that big a deal to me. I thought Cody was going to win. I wasn't really disappointed that he didn't. But again, it just wasn't one of the top matches for me this year. Willie says, are you going to watch the Mario movie? After all, you are the world's biggest Mario fan. Remember that guy? Of all the weirdos we've had in there, he was right up there with him. Actually, I had said before, when I first heard about the Mario movie, I was like, okay. It was one of those things that's like, when it comes out to stream, and I'll see if I can make time to watch it. But now that I've seen the trailer and everything, I kind of want to go see it in the theater. I'm trying to talk my wife into going with me and going to the theater and seeing it, because it looks really, really good. The boy in my Brandon Rogers reacts, that would be my son. Yes. he's 23 now. He'll be here soon. He's going to move from New York. Him and his fiance are going to move from New York down here to North Carolina with us in May. Yami says, not trolling or anything, but who are you? I'd like to know. I don't know. This is why I do these streams. I'm trying to find out who I am and where I came from. There's a lot of missing pieces in there. I'd like to give you more details, but as the gang here tries to piece together what exactly is going on, all we know for sure is I don't have a soul. So we're trying to figure out if there's a common thread there that'll lead us somewhere to figuring out where I'm from. Excuse me. Brother E says the best match was the triple threat with Gunther. Literally big men slapping meat. I loved it. That was a good match. It was entertaining. And they, they did exactly what they should do in a match of that nature. They ran it just how they should. Hi, Chrome. Ashley says, are you familiar with Glenn Danzig of the Misfits fame? Know the name. I learned recently that he made an anime during the 90s. Really? I know the name. I can't really say I'm familiar, just other than having heard the name. Jeff says, I really, really, really hope San Diego State wins tonight. Well, I can top you one on that. I really, 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 really hope UConn wins tonight, because I have good friends of mine, their son, their family member is on the team. One of my good friends, and was somebody who we've worked out together forever, and he was actually my partner at my day job for years. His nephew plays for UConn and is just a phenomenal family and a great, great kid. So I haven't been this invested in a finals of the NCAA tournament in forever. Chrome says, oh, hey, we're talking about the Mario film. I saw some opinions from the premiere a few days ago. They're glowingly positive. Yeah, as I had said, the trailer really hooked me in. It looks like it's going to be fun. I do like the fact that Nintendo was so over the top involved, in every element of it and everything, and making sure that this was done in a way that would do their IP right. Looks says you Candy's nuts. Elzico says opinion on alcohol. Well, I don't drink alcohol at all because a couple reasons. One, I don't have a taste for it. Don't like it. Another one is I don't like, I as bad as my decision making may be, I like to be my own decision making. I don't want to have something that interferes with that. And 3, I've been falling down drunk once in my life. And when I got that drunk, I had a baseball bat in hand to go try and kill a bunch of people. So I don't think alcohol is a good idea for me. It's good I don't have a taste for it. Brother E says, overall, I think this WrestleMania was well done. Yeah, I agree. I took away from this is that roster is in depth and lots of talented people. They've always had that. It's the writing that's been shit. My only issue was the pacing of the show. Lots of downtime between matches. They do that every year. Especially now they went, I think going to 2 nights was a good idea rather than trying to pack everything in. But now I think they gave them too much extra time. Oh, wow. Chrome says, I'm taking this with a major grain of salt, but there's reports Nintendo and Illuminations are looking at Henry Cavill to voice a Legend of Zelda film next. I have to say, the Legend of Zelda franchise would certainly lend itself perfectly to becoming a movie. You know, the storytelling of an entire movie. Stormstar says we can move on from Mania, but thought Theory versus Cena was by far the worst match of both nights. It wasn't my favorite match of the nights, but I wouldn't agree with that. I didn't think it was terrible. I think they told the story they wanted to tell. It was just basically Cena passing the torch along to Theory. That's what I expected from it, and that's what we got. Raziel says what you really need to see is the Super Hornio Brothers. Nintendo has those movies under lockdown. Elzico says, interesting coincidence since my next novel is going to be I Want to Bang Your Mom, but the twist is going to be with a bat. That's true too, though. I didn't even think about that. Lick says, isn't Link mute? Even though you could make it would be a challenge, but I still think you could make a movie out of it. Having to work with your protagonist without speech would be interesting. Chrome says, yeah, as much as I'm excited about the Mario film, I'd be even more excited for either a Zelda film, Metroid film, or a Fire Emblem series or film. See, Fire Emblem, I don't know, Chrome. I don't know that one at all. Ferret Lover says, make it wiggle. That seems like an incomplete question. It wiggles, even at my age. There's a lot of things that will cause it to do so. I think we could discuss specifics. Excuse me. Lick says, I'm a Zelda diehard. I'd go to see it even if it was the worst movie ever made. I can remember the original Zelda, the first one. That's up there. And back in the day, I used to game a lot. And that's back up there for games that I spent the most hours on ever. I finished it, replayed it again, and that's unusual for me. I was, always move on to something else. But yeah, here, take this. It's not safe to go alone. Take this. Seven Sins says, have you played The Last of Us or seen any of the show? I think it's right up your alley. I played some of it, and I saw the first episode. We posted the reaction, but we didn't continue with it because there were just no interest in the reactions to it here. Ferret Lover says, I love your channel. You laughing makes me smile that you enjoy it. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Steve said, what's your favorite childhood memory with your mom? Oh, I don't think, off the top of my head, I couldn't come up with just one favorite instance, really. I don't know. One favorite individual moment, I couldn't even really tell you what would stand out. Yes, Jaden, we were talking about that earlier. WrestleMania. We were just talking about that. It was a good show. Ferret Lover says, what else do you hate more than fake cheese? More than American cheese? The only thing I can think of is mayonnaise. The only thing that's worse than American cheese is fucking mayonnaise. Nick says favorite sport to watch slash play. Favorite teams. I love all sports pretty much. Well, a lot of sports. As a kid, I was a baseball fanatic. I mean, psychotic over baseball. Now my favorite to watch is college football though, and it's all about Notre Dame for me. Willie says, so my personal take is that Nintendo is setting up a Smash Bros. Film, hoping for Zelda, Emblem, etc., but praying for Metroid. See, Metroid, I played a little Metroid. I never really got into that one. I mean, I played it. There's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't the type of game that, for whatever reason, hooked me in. But yeah, when we talk about Zelda and Metroid and all those OG titles, man, I can't even remember what system they originally came out on because I remember playing the first ones out in those series. Excuse me. Philip says Link speaks in the manga they did of the Zelda game, so I don't think that'll be an issue. Oh, I didn't know that. Chrome says, I know Fire Emblem would just be people debating who the best war criminal was. Hint, it's my YouTube icon is Fire Emblem Three Houses is just war crimes the game. Every good guy commits war crimes. Really? See, that one, I don't know anything about that one. And Big Green says, I'd have to agree. I can tolerate cheese in some foods. Mayo is just disgusting. Oh, hate it so much. Hijikata is one of my favorite characters in Gintama. And yet I have to survive those scenes where he just piles mayonnaise onto everything. And it's like, it actually physically hurts sometimes. Oh, I'm sure, Brother E. He says, NYC is going to be crazy tomorrow because of the whole Trump situation. I'm just over all of it already. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. Oh, can't even imagine what it's going to be like in the city. Could get interesting if you get protesters and counter-protesters out there. You love Miracle Whip? Do you, a ferret lover? Oh, no. Excuse me, no. Cannot. Oh, can't do it. I have seen Zelda Breath of the Wild. Licks. Was it Spaz Kid that was playing it? I know I've seen somebody play. It had to be Spaz Kid. Well, my other friend used to play the Zelda games too. But yeah, I think it was Spaz Kid that played some of Breath of the Wild. I don't remember a lot of it. Oh, it wouldn't. You wouldn't have to talk me into playing any of the Zelda games, especially with the history I have with them. I love those games. I love every time I played any of them has been great. It's just not having enough time to game. Oh, that's cool, Jeff. He says if San Diego State wins tonight, that's going to win me some extra money on one of those DraftKings free pools. Wow, very cool. It's terrible. I use DraftKings and I never even think to enter those free pools. and free is in the title. I like free. Nick says, would you eat a 1 pound block of American cheese for $1 million? For $1 million, of course. Of course I would. I mean, I'd be stupid to say no. Would I puke? Yeah. Would I be sick for at least a day or more? Ugh, absolutely. But who wouldn't be willing to be sick even if it was for a week for $1 million? Chrome says, by the way, most of the actors dressed up for the Mario premiere. Hold on, let me take a look at that link, guys. Wearing these awesome clothes. Oh, that's cool. Those are some cool shots. I like that. That was cool. Oh, excuse me. Stormstar says, never played Zelda. I love the games I play, but as far as gaming in general, I've lived quite a sheltered life. Yeah, Zelda's good. I just always go back to that, walking into that cave and meeting the first old man there, and I remember it distinctly. I've not played Pokemon games, Little C, just because I don't know much about Pokemon. Well, other than Pokemon Go. Brax and I used to play that, and then when my grandson was into it, I was playing it for a while just to try and find rare Pokemon and stuff for him, but he's gotten away from it now. Raziel says, ever had Surstroming? I don't even know what that is. So definitely have not had it because I don't know what that is. Chrome says you really do need to try Breath of the Wild. Yeah, again, I would love to have the time for gaming. Philip says I need to show you if Legend of Zelda had lyrics by Brentafloss. You'd get a kick out of it. Willie says I've been emulating older Nintendo titles, and I've gotten through 3 Zelda games, 2 Fire Emblems, the original Mario Kart, and a Kirby. Now, Mario Kart is also on my list of all-time favorites. When we have Spaz Kid Switch set up, because I can't find where my wife's is, but when we have a Switch set up in the house, that's I just love that game. Love kart. Chrome says, "Well, we might get a chance to do a Pokemon stream this month. Yeah, if I can find the Switch. By the way, I messaged you about my G100 in case it didn't go through. Let me double check while we're here, Chrome, because otherwise I'll forget. Just make sure the message is there, and if it is, I can read it after the stream. But it says I have one message, so I'm assuming it's yours. Yep, I got it. I'll check on it right after the stream." Big Green says, I barely played any Nintendo games. I think when it comes to Nintendo, I'm still stuck in the Sega versus Nintendo console war from the 90s. I remember that. As if I was Rambo. Nothing is over nothing. Ferret Lover says, I love Bassmasters on SNES. That used to be big. I was never into it, but I remember that game used to sell really well. Bassmasters. Stormstar says, most difficult game I've ever played was the Lion King game for Sega Mega Drive Genesis. It took me 21 years to finally beat. Still have PTSD from it. Chrome says, Patreon is a bit odd when you type 2 posts. Yeah. So I messaged you again about it after we talked about the Berlin Wall. Yeah, so that's got to be the one I just saw. I see I've got one in there from you, so that should be it. Final Fight 3 is great, Ferret Lover says. I used to play a lot of the fighting games. Again, back in the day, I played everything. The old consoles, that's when I was really at the height of where I had the time to game as much as I wanted. Hell, I even remember, that had to be on PC though. I remember playing the original Grand Theft Auto, where if I'm remembering right, it was an overhead view. And I mean, it was just these horrible antique graphics. And but I thought it was cool because it was still violent. So that's good. Luigi's Mansion. I remember that one, Little C, but I didn't play that one. I remember when it was out, but I never did play that one. Chrome says, if it doesn't work out, I've got a backup idea to host a little shoujo poll. I'll hold off on the Pokemon anime until there's an official release for the new series. Speaking of which, I got to this week I'll be putting up over at the Gooch. I'll be putting up a nominations thread because I just watched. I haven't posted yet, of course, but I just watched the final episode of season 1 of Magi. So it's time to start thinking about a new series to replace that one. Stormstar says, yeah, I played GTA London with the bird's eye graphics. I remember that. And again, it was just, especially by current standards, it was so bad, but it was so cool. Oh man, I loved it. Chrome says Luigi's Mansion 3 is beautiful on the Switch. I'd honestly say it's got Pixar quality animation with how expressive it is. Really? Yeah, I know the game. I can even picture the box, but I never did play that one. Nick says, I apologize for arriving to the stream too late. Oh, no, you're not too late. And I don't know if there's a video that you explain this, but who did you train when you were becoming a wrestler? First it was it was when I lived down in New Mexico, and it was a man named Jackson Brody got me started. And then I got the basics there, and then in bouncing around back in those early days, you pick up things here and there, like when I went over to San Antonio to try out with Joe Blanchard's crew. I picked up stuff from Joe, gave me a lot of nice tips, and a couple of the guys that worked there. Not Tully. Tully was a douche. Willie says, so speaking of G100s, after 2 months of saving, I should be ready to sponsor some more Honey Pop soon. Oh, cool. I love Honey Pop. Between the magnificent boobies, and I like that game. You know, the mini game that you play to try and get to the boobies is just fun to me. Stormstar says, yeah, the hilarious sounds and curses made up for the awful graphics, considering it was for a PlayStation 1. Yeah, what? Maybe, I can't remember, Stormstar. Was the PlayStation 1 version of GTA, was that overhead view too? Because maybe that's where I played it. I was thinking it was PC, but maybe it was PS1. I just remember it was really, really bad graphics, and the overhead view is what stuck out for me. Little C says, have you seen that Disney World is in Minecraft now? You mean that big Disney World server? Because that one's been there for a while. I played on that. That's really cool. Very cool. Next says, the Family Guy reaction is amazing. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Horny Crush is pretty cool after all. Big Green says, yeah, I like playing it. It's a very simple game, but it's just fun. Vice City is your favorite GTA? Mine is now 5. It always had been San Andreas. And I told you guys, I like San Andreas, but I love the excuse me. Again, a word won't come to me. The jetpack. I had so much fun playing with that stupid jetpack. I don't know. I don't know why. I would never get tired of just zipping around in it. Simple thing, simple mind, I guess. Ferret Lover says, I don't like wrestling too much anymore. It's too goofy with Bianca. I can't stand her with her stupid hair. Oh, I like Bianca. She's an amazing athlete. Phenomenal athlete. I love watching her work a match. She's just crazy athletic. Raziel says, have you seen Agent Elvis? It's a total Venture Bros meets Archer kind of deal. No, I haven't even heard of that one. Agent Elvis? Nope, no idea on that. Big Green says, I kind of have a soft spot for GTA 4. The more bleak, serious story just does it for me for some reason. Yeah, like you say, it's just kind of a personal preference thing. But 5 has definitely become my favorite, but San Andreas is right behind it. Stormstar says, yeah, GTA first went 3D for Gen 2, PS2, and Xbox. Okay, so maybe it was PS1 I played it on. I don't remember. That's all I can remember for sure is that overhead view and how wonky the graphics were. Little C says you should play Tekken 7. It's a fighting game and it's really fun. I played Tekken versions before. Yeah, it is fun. It's a good fighter. It's a good fighting game. No, Chrome says, by the way, did you see Sega officially killed Sonic a few days ago? Killed off the character dead. Really? I didn't know that. That seems kind of bizarre. Wonder what that's about. How many billions of dollars has Sonic made for Sega over the years? Jesus Christ. Between games and merchandise and everything. Wow. Ashley says, did you ever finish playing Catherine? No, we got close, but It's not sponsored anymore. It's not sponsored at the Goosh anymore. It was fun. Keep climbing up that building. That was fun. The mini games, spam risk, what a shock. The mini games in there were just a blast. Oh, Stormstar says, "Yep, for a Sonic murder mystery." Huh. Next says, "Are you a Star Wars fan or not? You seem like one." Not really. I when the first three came out back in the what was that, 70s, I was way into those. And since then I've just caught bits and pieces here and there, and even at that I haven't seen any of the releases in the last several years. It's been a while. I have enough knowledge outside of those first three, I know those stories well. But outside of that, I know the basics about the characters and stuff, but that's about it. Willie says, "Fun fact, decades ago there was going to be a super kid-friendly game called Kirby Jr. The game was canceled and the studio went on to become Rockstar, and then they made GTA. Talk about a 180, I guess. From Kirby Jr. to to GTA, yeah, that's the old spinneroonie there, no doubt about it." I just read that same thing, brother E. He says, "So for Bianca, the dancing troupe that helped Bianca's Mania entrance, the youngest girl, the girl who was featured, who was 5, apparently her mom died earlier that day and she decided to still go perform at WrestleMania." Mind blowing, yeah. Well, it's like most parents, it's impossible to put yourself in that situation, but I feel confident. I would say the same thing. I would be like, no, you don't, to my child, you don't pass up this opportunity. When your kids are what are most important to you, even in that moment, it's like, no, that you don't pass that up. It's something you'll get to remember forever. Let's see. Chrome says 2 days ago. Okay, let me see this link. The Sonic Social Team proudly presents The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, a brand new Sonic game available right now on Steam for free. Really? Okay, so I see it's just going to be okay. Huh. It's just a murder mystery game. But still, wow. That's surprising. That is dark. Excuse me. But what? Just weird to even think about in any context a character as iconic as Sonic, rhymed, as iconic as Sonic, being killed off. April Fool's, but it's a real game. Wow. Oh, that. No, wait a second. I understand it's April Fool's saying he's dead. So, but Chrome saying it is a real game. You can play it. It's just he's not really dead. It's a murder mystery. T Dot says petition to stop making Fast and Furious movies. I never got into that series. I watched the first one, but for me, even coming from an era where guys being gearheads was commonplace, I've never been a big gearhead. It's like cars are not a big deal to me. Like my car, any car I buy, I want it to get me from point A to point B and back again, and that's all I care. So I've never been into cars. So that never attracted me at all. Right. Big Green says they're not actually killing off his character, but they released the game, yes, as a murder mystery game. Gotcha. We're just talking about that, Little C, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It looks amazing. Again, I'm trying to get my wife talked into going and watching it with me because I went from not being particularly interested at all to now I want to see it in the theaters. Baboon Balloon says, when are you going to upload more Total Drama? No telling. It's gotten to be so difficult on YouTube to post any of the series shows we've been watching. I'm still debating what I'm going to do about all that. Chrome says it's free on Steam if you want to give it a go. Well, again, I wouldn't have time to play it. And even if I did, I was never a Sonic fan. So there are so many games that I want to play. I'm hoping to at least keep putting in enough time in my days to be able to stream more games, get back to GTA 5 and maybe play some other quirky fun games. I miss having that time. I would want, there's a lot of scary games I like to play. I always enjoyed those. Excuse me. Big Green says they even made it seem like they're changing the direction of the franchise, despite the fact that the latest game did really well. Really? Little C says, I think after the Mario movie does well, they should make a Legend of Zelda movie. We were talking about that earlier, too, about the rumors abounding that might actually take place. That would be interesting. That would be fascinating. Ice Diamond says, do you have any great-grandchildren? No. I have plenty of grandchildren, but no great-grandchildren yet. Brother E says, apparently Trump landed in NYC JFK. Oh boy, this is about to be a shit show if we haven't seen one yet. I honestly hope we don't get another January 6th incident this week. Like I say, it's going to be interesting to see if at any point the protesters and counter-protesters cross paths. Stormstar says, it's a shame R2... Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't strike you too much. Still think it's one of the best story games out there. Yeah, I don't know why. I've got nothing against it. It just, again, just one of those personal taste things. It was okay. It was fun. But if, with the limited time I have to game, there were a lot of things I've seen that I liked more. Parrot Lover says, I hope the Trump is more entertaining than the Will Smith slap. Could it could get really intriguing again if certain groups happen to be in the same place at the same time. Chrome says Nintendo is starting to ramp up again. They just set up their own animation studio called Nintendo Pictures. And they're building a second 12-story R&D building for 2027. They're really confident. Wow, very cool. Big Green says it's GTA with cowboys. What's there not to love? It's but understandable. Well, that's what it is. It's GTA with cowboys. I like GTA with cars. And I like playing in the streets of a city with the cars and the prostitutes and the big weaponry and all that stuff. I enjoy that. And the airplanes and shooting them out of the sky and but I mean, I got nothing against Red Dead. It's a really, really well-made game. It's just not really in my wheelhouse. Baboon says, I would like a Zelda movie. I just don't know how I feel about Link talking. We all saw what happened last time we got that. Little C says, what is one Nintendo franchise besides Zelda and Mario that you think would be a good movie? Oh, I'm not a good one to ask. I don't follow anymore the gaming world closely enough to have a good educated opinion on something like that. I was just excited to see Rainbow Road in the movie trailer, only because my favorite, well, not just Mario, my favorite Nintendo game is Mario Kart. So seeing them running on the Rainbow Road was really cool to me. I liked that. Really? Big Green says, yeah, the 2 times we've heard Link talk, he was fucking annoying. Edgar says, I would like to see one more run of Call of Duty Shotgun Boy. Me too, Edgar. I miss playing Call of Duty. I'm hoping. Again, I keep trying to restructure my schedule, and it's tough. But I want to get back to GTA 5, and I have the new... yeah, huh? I think we're saying Call of Duty. I have the new Call of Duty all downloaded and everything. I just got to find time to play it. I'm Shotgun Boy was such a blast, and I would get so obliterated now. I mean, worse than usual because it's been out for months now. Everybody's got the maps memorized, and I'd be I'd be running in there completely blind. Uh, Wolverine says, "Read my name. Your name is Curtis, not Fred." Oh yeah, the gang said during the earlier stream that Dimwit was back. Baboon says Earthbound would have a banger movie. I suggest you and everyone watching to play the Earthbound games, masterpieces that still hold up to this day. Like I say, I don't have the time to game. I've got a bunch that I want to play myself right now. When I game, it's typically going to be on the channel because just all the years of doing that, I found that it's a lot more fun to game with you guys. Chrome says Mario is Chris Pratt. Link may be Henry Cavill. Ganondorf is voiced by Jotaro. And Samus is currently has a Spanish VA in the new Metroid. Wow. Willie says, I think Earthbound would be an amazing series more than a movie. I don't really know. I don't know anything about that one. Oh, shit. I got to watch my temp. I got a couple errands I got to do. And it's almost 4 o'clock. Guys, thanks for hanging out in this stream. I appreciate it. This has been a blast. Yeah, that's my goal. I'm really hoping to be able to have days similar to this where I can stream twice. I got to figure a way to get notifications sent out. I'm looking for software that'll help me do it on my own. But because I want to be able to game again, but I don't like giving up on these streams. Now, for the next 2 days, my wife is on her way back home from New York, driving down now. She's bringing my brother-in-law, her brother, with her. And he's coming to visit, so I will have time out during the day where, we want to take him out to lunch, show him some of the things around here. Excuse me. So it won't be over the next couple days that I get to do a lot with the streaming, but coming up, I'm hoping to. I was really getting into GTA 5. I was finally moving along in the missions as well. And yes, playing Call of Duty and having another run as Shotgun Boy, as Edgar said, would be just so much freaking fun. Yeah, Chrome says just have the Discord actually send notifications instead of hide them. I was telling the gang at the top of the stream, Chrome, I've been looking for software that I could install on my own webpage or whatever, just to where if you guys wanted to go and sign up for notifications just for streams, you could. But all the software I found, it doesn't dumb down enough to do the simple things I want to do, which is just have an area where people can go, sign up for notification, and designate. Say, well, I want to get notified on my browser and or on my phone or whatever. And then I would just start sending out notifications every time we stream. I wouldn't do it for videos or anything like that, just for the streams. I'm going to continue looking if I can find software that will do that will do what we want it to do. I will certainly put it into effect. Oh, the Discord mods actually hide them? What do you mean by the Discord's mods? The Discord mods hide them, Chrome. What do you mean? That just interested me because I don't know why they would be hiding anything over there. Wolverine said, I wasn't even notified of this stream on Discord. Really? Because I know I know sometimes I blame that stuff on YouTube just not putting word out so that Discord can actually grab the notification. Chrome says the Discord mods for the main Discord, not our private one, deactivate notification for vids because apparently it annoys them to get pinged. That's good to know. That might be something that needs to be looked into because regardless of what they're doing over there, the Discord was set up for that reason, to have a place that reflects the channel here. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. That couldn't be. I'm just trying to think of who we have for a lineup. of mods over. That wouldn't be alpha. Alpha wouldn't do that. I don't know. That's something I may have to look into though. And if the notification for this stream did appear, Big Green. I didn't know that. Yeah, when I go over there now, for the most part, I go into the what's the name of the one specific channel, and now it's been a really rough day for post concussion today. I gotta bring it up myself because I'm driving Emerald Perverts I'm usually in, but I'll have to take time and go in there and look and see what's going on with that. After 3 night shifts, so no harm done, as long as we had this one covered. Well, thanks, Venom. I appreciate that. Hi, Jonathan. Unfortunately, we're just wrapping up. I was just getting some information from Chrome. Excuse me. The vids are posted there, but it won't notify people. So basically what you're saying is, and yeah, I might need an explanation of that. We're struggling to get YouTube to send out notifications. And one of the ways we have of working around that would be to have the notifications go through Discord, and they've disabled the Discord notifications. All right. Well, I can take a peek into it, or you guys can even keep me posted if you figure out exactly what's going on with it. That is interesting. All right, guys. Well, I do have to go. Again, thank you for hanging out with me and doing this. And I don't know, again, for streams the next couple days while my brother-in-law is here, if there will be any. If so, I might be able to squeeze that quick one in somewhere. But no promises. But beyond that, I'm going to be streaming on the regular. Lots. Well, we've been pretty regular now, but as often as I can. I just really miss doing the streams. All right, guys, I will talk to y'all really soon.